Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we have a couple of huge blockbuster trades that happened, involving Kyle Tucker and Devin Williams as the two stars of the trades. So let's hop into it. Starting today's video off with Devin Williams. Devin Williams got traded from the Milwaukee Brewers to the Yankees. I'm honestly surprised that the Brewers did this because Devin Williams just came off one of his best seasons yet. He's an all-star closer, one of the best in baseball, and they sold him at his peak, which is smart because you can get the most in return then, because he's good, but I don't know if you're going to get another year as good as he was in 24 from Williams. And they also traded him now because he's a free agent after the 2025 season, and the Brewers don't have enough money to re-sign him, to be completely honest. So they sold him after one of his best years yet, so they could get the most in return, while he was at his peak, because they weren't gonna re-sign him. But the whole trade was the Yankees received Devin Williams, who in 2024 he had an ERA of 1.25 with 14 saves. He was pretty darn good this year. A 1.25 ERA as a closer is insane. In 23, he had an ERA of 1.53 with 30 saves. He's a Rookie of the Year, two-time Jeff Hoffman reliever of the year, a two-time All-Star, and he's an incredible pitcher. The Diamondbacks were in trade talks with the Brewers to acquire this guy because we need a closer after Seawald started doing bad. But it's a pretty good move for the Yankees. The one thing I will say, though, is it's part of the New York thing as a Yankees. If you play for the Yankees, you have to shave all your facial hair. And I saw a picture of him with the Brewers and the Yankees. He lost so much aura with the shaveless face. It looks, not gonna lie, it does not look like Devin Williams. But the Yankees received Devin Williams. In exchange, the Brewers got Nestor Cortez, who his last pitch ever as a Yankee was that walk-off grand slam that Freddie Freeman hit off him in Game 1 of the World Series. That was his last ever pitch as a Yankee. And they also got Caleb Durbin, who's a very solid infielder. But Nestor Cortez, he's a crafty pitcher. He puts up his leg a second longer or holds it quick pitches a second earlier with his leg. He does a bunch of these timing mechanisms that messes up the hitter, but it might be messing up him because it works sometimes, but it also doesn't. In 2024, he had a 3.77 ERA and 174.1 innings pitched. But in 2022, he made the All-Star team. He had a 2.44 ERA and 158.1 innings pitched. Nestor Cortez, he's going to be a funky delivery guy that messes up timings, like I said, with the hitters. But he's also going to eat you anywhere from 150 to 170 innings, which is exactly what the Brewers are looking for. They got Nestor Cortez to get someone that can pitch, eat up innings, so all the other guys that they have in the rotation don't have to burn their arms out. And Nestor, he's not great, but he's not terrible. In 2025, I would expect anywhere from a 3.5 to a 3.8 ERA with 150 to 170 innings pitched, anywhere in the area. So a very solid pitcher. The Brewers also got in return Caleb Durbin, who had 10 homers with 60 RBIs, 31 stolen bases, and an OPS at 839. He's a stud. He won the Arizona Fall League MVP. If you don't know what that is, it's where all the top prospects play in a game. Not a game, but like a bunch of games. And it's where scouts and stuff are. They're already drafted, but to see what they can do. And he won the Arizona Fall League MVP. He stole a ton of bases. He doesn't have a ton of pop in that bat. He's going to be more of a single and double hitter, but very solid athlete with speed, pretty good defense, and he fits exactly what the Brewers need. a guy that could play. They're probably gonna put him in the outfield and infield. Some guy that's gonna have a great glove and can hit a little bit, like Bryce Terang, Willie Adames before he left, even though he was just shortstop. Joey Ortiz, just the prototypical Brewers player. The next trade we have for today, Kyle Tucker has been traded from the Astros to the Cubs. Honestly, I am really surprised that Astros did this. I know, I know that the Astros, I know that Tucker is a free agent after his 2025 year, but to be honest, the Astros, they went on a couple of years of championship runs. That might have been because of the trash cans, but they went on a couple years of claiming they were the best because they were signing everyone that they wanted, just being that main team out there. But the last couple months of Astros baseball honestly has not seemed like that prime uh, Astros team we're used to. They lost. They got swept by the Tigers. Don't get me wrong. The Tigers were a good team, but they got swept by the Tigers, and now they're trading away one of their superstars who, Kyle Tucker is a top 10 player in baseball. He's no scrub because they're probably not going to re-sign him because he's a free agent in 2025. So it seems like the downfall kind of the Astros because they traded one of their best players because they're not going to re-sign him. And they lost to the Tigers in the wild card. But I will say this is a great move by the Cubs. The Cubs, Kyle Tucker is going to be the best player on that team. But now that I look at that squad, they're pretty good with Seiya Suzuki, Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, now Kyle Tucker. That team is really good. But Kyle Tucker, he's insane. He fractured his shin in 2024, so he didn't play that many games. But in a small sample size, he had a WAR 4.7 with 23 homers, an OPS of 993 with an OPS plus of 181. That's with injury, so I don't know if he could have sustained that for a full year. But Kyle Tucker, he's crazy talented. Not only can he hit, but he can field well. He's won a Gold Glove, he's won a Silver Slugger, and he's 2021 World Series won it with the Astros. So Kyle Tucker, he's insane. But I will say the Cubs did give up a little bit of talent for Kyle Tucker, like you have to, because he's a top 10 player in baseball. So if they don't re-sign him, this is a little bit of a failure on the Cubs because they gave up all this talent to have him for 1 year, and they're probably not going to sign an extension because after the Soto deal, Tucker's probably going to get 400 to 450 mil, which is absolutely insane. But it's a great move by the Cubs. They have a very solid core, and Kyle Tucker is a stud in that lineup. And the Cubs, they could make a surprising playoff run as soon as next year with this move. But in return, the Astros got Isaac Paredes. That's me, guys. I got traded to the Astros. But he's a third baseman. So this might mean that Bregman's officially gone since they got a third baseman. But who knows? Paredes could be a bench bat, and they could be bringing back Bregman. The one thing, though, is Isaac, I don't know how to say it, but it's spelled the same way as mine. All of his 74 career home runs, he's pulled out to right field, or left field, and that's going to work perfectly in his favor in Houston with the Bronx, with the Crawford boxes. Some of those doubles he hit last year and singles are going to go over the fence for the Crawford boxes, which it's going to be a match made in heaven. He might have a 35 homer season because those Crawford boxes are going to help him a lot. They also got Hayden Winineski. I can't say his name, but he looks to be a solid pitcher later on. He hasn't been the best so far in his major league experience, but he had a negative 0.3 WAR with an ERA of 3.58 with 67 strikeouts and 67.2 innings pitched. He might be a better pitcher down the road, but if he stays the way he's been in his major league career, he's gonna be an average pitcher at best. But he does have some good stuff. He has a nasty sweeper. Yeah. Um, they also got Cam Smith, who's the best player the Astros got in return. This kid rakes. He was a number 14 draft pick in the 2024 draft. He has 36 hits, 7 homers, 24 RBIs, and OPS of 1.005, and I think it was like 21 games. And Cam Smith, he's an infielder. He's going to be absolutely insane going forward. Honestly, he could be like a Brandon Crawford minus the great. Actually, that's a bad comp. Maybe like a Dustin Pedroia because he's short and he gets on base really well. But Cam Smith, he's going to be a dog. So the Astros gave up one of their superstars because they're probably not going to re-sign him in the free agent. And the Astros got a great haul in return. The one thing I will say though is a lot of teams were interested in Kyle Tucker. The Phillies were one of those teams, and they offered Nick Castellanos and Alec Bohm for Kyle Tucker. The Astros declined it because Alec Bohm's defense at third was not it last year. He's not been good. He's gotten better, but it's not great still. I personally, if I'm the Astros GM, I would have gone the same route he did with the Cubs offer because they got some great prospects. And Nick Castellanos and Alec Bohm are good, but I'd rather have prospects and a couple pretty good MLB players over Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos. Castellanos' contract is really expensive, and Bohm, the vibes are just off. He's not the same player he used to. But that's it for today's video. Let me know what you think of the Devin Williams and Kyle Tucker trade in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. And I have a big favor to ask. I'm racing my friend to 100 subscribers. Let's try and get to 100 subscribers before Christmas. But either way, whatever happens, I appreciate every single one of you. And thank you for watching these videos. Peace.